conspiracy or future tech. Part 1. A quiet whisper in the sky. Good evening, dear listener. As you ease into your space tonight, let your body go soft, let your breath slow, and let your thoughts loosen gently. You are safe. You are still. You are ready for wonder. Tonight we begin a quiet journey into a mystery that has stirred both curiosity and fear. It begins not with facts, but with a whisper about the sky, about a project said to be hidden, global, technological, designed to change what we believe. They called it Project Blue Beam. Not a machine, not a war, but a plan. A theory wrapped in secrets, that someone somewhere is preparing to project images into the sky, so real, so detailed, so overwhelming, that the world would believe what they see. A second coming, a global alien event, a new voice from the heavens, and then from that vision, a shift in power, a new world order, too strange to be true, or too strange to ignore. Some say it's just a story, a puzzle for late-night thinkers, a trick of paranoia. Others say it's already begun. Strange lights in the sky, sounds with no source, holograms that shouldn't exist, technology far beyond what we've been told. But we're not here to prove. Not tonight. We're here to wonder, to float just above the edge of belief, and rest inside the possibility. So as your eyes grow heavy, and your thoughts begin to slow, imagine a sky above you, clear, quiet, and then changing, not with clouds, not with stars, but with something that shouldn't be there. A voice, a shape, a sign, projected from nowhere, believed by all. That's where we begin. This is part 1 of Project Blue Beam. Your breath is slow now, your body lighter, your mind wide open. And now we begin to unfold the theory. Project Blue Beam wasn't just about images in the sky, it was about control. The idea is simple but bold. Create a global event, one that no one can ignore, one that shakes every belief system at once. Then offer a solution. A new world, a new leader, a new truth, manufactured but believed. How? By using the sky as a screen. Step 1. Simulate global chaos, unrest, natural disasters, real or not. Step 2. Fill the sky with visions, holograms of religious figures, different for different cultures, voices in languages only you understand. A miracle designed. Step 3. Replace the old beliefs with one unified truth. Not spiritual, but technological. Something global. Something you're told is for your safety. Some say it's just science fiction. Others think it's a plan already in motion. Quiet, careful, because we already have the pieces. Satellites, sound weapons, holograms that look almost real. We just haven't put them together. Or have we? That's the tension in the theory. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And tonight, as you lie still, let that whisper move through you, not to scare, but to wonder. What if the next thing we see in the sky isn't from the stars? What if it's from here, from us, from someone behind the curtain? Part 3. Technology Beyond the Edge. Welcome back. You're drifting now, between thought and sleep, between what's known and what might be hidden. Tonight we step quietly into the tools behind the theory, because for Project Bluebeam to work, if it were real, it would need technology we barely understand. And yet, it may already exist. High-altitude satellites, laser projection systems, 3D holograms that appear to float in mid-air, even voice-to-skull technology, a way to send sound into your mind without a speaker, without a source. Imagine walking through a quiet street and hearing a voice, clear, personal, right inside your head. Not a dream, not madness, just a test. A soft tap on the door of reality. Now picture a global network, dozens, maybe hundreds of satellites, working together, projecting synchronized images into the sky, so real you could reach for them, so convincing you wouldn't think to question. Some say the real key isn't the image, it's the emotion, the feeling that this is something bigger than you, that you're seeing something divine, that what's happening can't be stopped. But maybe it isn't real, and that's what makes it powerful. The technology is not meant to inform, it's meant to overwhelm, and in that overwhelm, belief becomes soft, malleable, ready to be reshaped. So tonight, as you rest, imagine a sky not filled with stars, but with signals, not to scare, just to see how close we might be to a world that feels magical, but is made with machines. Part 4. The Power of Belief. Welcome back. You're floating now. The world is quiet, and your thoughts move like water. Slow, soft, calm. Now we ask something simple, but heavy. What happens when the world believes the same thing at once? That's the core of Project Bluebeam. It isn't just about technology. It's about belief. Because belief shapes action. It guides fear. It builds trust, or breaks it. And the deeper the belief, the harder it is to question. Imagine this: one night, the sky lights up. You see something unbelievable. So do your neighbors. So do people across the world. It's not on a screen. It's not a story. It's right above you. And then a voice speaks, kind, powerful, all-knowing. It says something you've waited your whole life to hear, or something that shakes you so deeply, you forget to ask if it's real. That's the moment, the break between doubt and surrender. Some call it mass programming, others call it salvation. But either way, it's not about light in the sky. It's about light in your mind. And who put it there? So as you rest now, breathe gently. And remember, belief is not weakness, but it is a door. And whoever controls what you see might also control what you believe. Not by force, but by wonder. And wonder is powerful. Part 5. A Crisis of Reality. Welcome back. You're resting in the quiet now, eyes heavy, mind open. And now we enter the part of the story that feels closest to the ground. Because if Project Bluebeam were real, it wouldn't begin with lights in the sky. It would begin with a crisis, something that makes the world uncertain, something that rattles the structure of everyday life. Maybe a natural disaster, maybe a collapse of systems we thought were stable, or maybe just a rising tide of confusion. Confusion is powerful, because when people can't agree on what's real, they look for something solid, something to hold, to follow, to trust. That's when the stage is ready, not just for a messiah. Something or someone appears in the sky, and suddenly fear has a focus, hope has a shape, chaos has a solution, and because the crisis is real, the answer feels real too. But what if it's all part of the script? That's the deeper part of this theory. Manufactured events, followed by manufactured truth. So seamless you don't notice the switch. So overwhelming you forget to ask. And that's how reality bends. Not with brute force, but with timing. So as you lie here now, drifting in stillness, feel the edges of what's real, soften just a little, not to confuse, not to unsettle, just to remind you. Sometimes the most powerful illusions are the ones that arrive when we're looking for answers, especially from above. Part 6. Sound without a voice. Welcome back. You're deep in the still now, drifting just below thought, resting in the space between, and now we listen. Not with ears, but with something quieter. Because if Project Bluebeam exists, then sound plays a central role. Sound you can't escape, not from a speaker, not from outside, but from within. This part of the theory talks about something strange, voice-to-skull technology, a way to send messages directly into the mind. No noise, no source, just a voice. In your language, inside your thoughts. Imagine hearing something, but no one else hears it. Imagine it knows your name, answers your questions, tells you what to believe, and what if it's not just you? What if millions of people hear the same message, each in their own mind? Some would say it's divine, others, madness. But very few would ask how. The theory says it wouldn't need to be loud, just right. A whisper in a moment of confusion, a suggestion during a global event, a calm voice saying, "Follow me." It wouldn't need to convince everyone, just enough. And once people begin to believe, the rest follows naturally. So as you rest here tonight, let your mind grow still and notice the space where thoughts begin. That space is yours. Keep it soft. Keep it quiet. Because that's where the real messages arrive, and not all of them are your own. You're floating now, beyond questions, beyond answers, just aware and still. Tonight we explore the final layer of Project Bluebeam's imagined purpose to create the perfect illusion. Not just something you see, not just something you hear, but something you feel. Because the most convincing illusions don't ask you to believe. They make you forget you ever doubted. Project Bluebeam isn't described as a single trick. It's a sequence. Step by step, shifting your reality, until the new one feels natural. First, confusion, then fear, then a moment of hope, manufactured and carefully placed. Then comes unity. Not organic, not earned, but engineered, across borders, across faiths, across minds. A false savior, a holographic return, a global miracle that demands obedience in exchange for peace. Too good to be true. Maybe, but that's what makes it powerful. Because if you saw something impossible, and the whole world saw it too, would you question it? Or would you feel relief? That's what the illusion offers. Not proof, but comfort. And we are most vulnerable, not when we are afraid, but when we are grateful to be shown the way. So as you lie here now, In a space where illusion and truth blend quietly, remember the most convincing story is the one that tells you what you already want to hear. And if someone can craft that story, they can craft belief. And once they have belief, they don't need anything else. Part 8. The New Order. Welcome back. You're in the deep now. Breath soft, mind quiet, thoughts like ripples on still water. And here in the final stretch of this mystery, we arrive at the purpose behind it all. Because if Project Blue Beam were real, if the sky were turned into a screen, if the minds of millions were reached, what comes next? A new order, a single system, not just political, but psychological. The idea is this: create a shared event so powerful, so universal, that the world agrees, without realizing it chose anything. It's not war, it's not law, it's belief. That's what Project Blue Beam is really about. Creating a moment so profound, it rewrites the inner world of everyone watching. And once that happens, you don't need to convince. You don't need to fight. People will follow what they trust, what they saw, what they heard inside their own minds. A one-world belief system. Not religion, not rebellion, something in between. Packaged in light, projected in the sky, spoken in every heart, and behind it, a quiet control, invisible, accepted, complete. This isn't fear, it's not panic, it's design. So as you lie here now, rest in the thought, not of what's been built, but of what could be built from within. Because belief can be shaped, but it can also be protected. And tonight, you're remembering that power, not in your hands, in your thoughts. Part 9. The Doubt That Lingers. Welcome back. You're resting in the quiet now, wrapped in stillness, held in the soft edges of thought. And here, near the end, we return to the one thing that can't be projected: doubt. Even in a world full of light, of voices, of visions in the sky, some will still ask, is this real? And maybe that's all it takes. Because even the most convincing illusion can't erase the feeling that something isn't quite right. The story of Project Blue Beam isn't just about belief. It's about the fragile balance between trust and awareness. The theory suggests the tools are already here. Holograms, frequency weapons, mind control. But what if the real test isn't whether they exist? It's whether we notice when they're used. That's where doubt becomes powerful. Not angry, not loud, just still. Still enough to feel the edges, to notice the moment when something changes and no one else sees it. Not all illusions fail with force. Some unravel with a whisper, a small question, a glance too long, a quiet, steady feeling that says, this isn't what it seems. That's the thought that lingers. Even after the light show ends, even after the voice fades, and maybe that's what keeps the illusion from becoming permanent. So as you lie here now, let your thoughts remain soft, but not empty. Let wonder in, let mystery in, but keep a small part of your mind quiet and clear. The part that simply asks why now, because that question, even whispered, is a light no illusion can touch. Part 10. The Truth That Sleeps in You. Welcome back. one last time. You're in the quiet now, beyond the noise, beyond the lights. Just drifting, soft and still. And this is where we end, not with a conclusion but with a reminder. Because whether Project Bluebeam is real, a blueprint, a warning, or just a whisper passed between curious minds, there's something deeper it points to, the truth that sleeps in you. The world may one day fill the sky with messages, with signs, with manufactured miracles, but none of that can replace the knowing inside you, the soft awareness that doesn't chase headlines, or follow voices, or worship visions in the clouds. It just knows when something feels right, knows when something feels off, knows when silence is louder than speech. That knowing is yours, always was, always will be. No projection can steal it, no story can overwrite it, no signal can silence it. So tonight, as your breath grows long and easy, and your thoughts grow slow and still, let that truth rise quietly inside you. No fear, no answers, just presence. You are not here to be controlled. You are here to be aware, and awareness is the one light that cannot be faked. So sleep now, dear listener, not in darkness, but in gentle knowing. The sky may one day lie, but you will always remember to look twice and to feel, not just believe. Good night.